Black Clover. Alright, so I briefly mentioned reading the first volume of Black Clover a couple months ago when I did the February Manga Challenge. That's all I really had planned to talk about it. I really didn't want to give any more attention to this series, but because I showed some mild distaste of the manga in that video, and yeah, it was pretty ass. There were some people who really wanted me to make a video about Black Clover. So what is Black Clover? Well, it is about this boy named Asta and his journey to become the Wizard King. That's right, his main goal is to become the Wizard King, the ruler of this, well, whatever the crap magic kingdom they live in. And they really, really want you to know this, because he repeats it about 100 times in this volume. He's not alone though, he grew up on an orphanage with this other kid named Yuno, his friend and also sworn rival. Yuno also wants to become the Wizard King, and the odds are against Asta because Yuno is better in almost every other way. When kids turn 15 in this world, they get bestowed upon them grimoires, which are basically these crazy books that unlock all of their magical abilities. Yuno gets the 4-leaf clover grimoire, which is apparently like really awesome, and instantly he's able to completely wreck shit. Problem though is that Asta doesn't actually have any magical abilities for whatever reason. I'm sure like 100 chapters in we'll get a flashback explaining why that happened. But anyway, Asta's all bummed out that he doesn't get his powers, but then later on some dude traps Yuno. He's trying to take his grimoire for himself, and Asta shows up. He unlocks his grimoire, which is like 5-leaf clover or whatever the fuck. But instead of getting magical powers, he actually gets a giant sword which can cut through and deflect magic attacks. So then they all go to this crazy magic test with a bunch of higher-ups watching them, and then based on their abilities they get placed into different wizard guilds. Asta joins what is apparently one of the worst guilds, and then they go on adventures and cause shenanigans. So already you could probably pick up on one of the biggest problems with Black Clover, which is its complete lack of originality. I mean, I don't necessarily think this is a ripoff of a specific series. Like, I know a lot of people would just call it a Naruto ripoff. I don't think it's entirely a ripoff of Naruto. I feel like it takes elements from just a bunch of really popular series and just comes together in one big mess. And I'm usually fine if elements get taken from other series, as long as, you know, they have their own twist on them and they're done well. Black Clover sort of does put its own twist on all of these ideas from other different shonen battle manga. The problem is that it's not really done that well. And here's the thing, I know a lot of you are probably expecting me to just completely shit all over this series. I don't really think it's that bad, more so I just thought it was painfully average. Like, nothing in the first volume really offended me, nothing made me mad, but there was nothing there to get me invested at all. I felt like everything I was watching I'd seen before done a lot better in other manga. They introduced Asta to the guild and all these kooky characters. I would honestly rather read the first volume of Fairy Tail over and over again. Like, that shit was way better than the first volume of Black Clover. I think where a lot of people are drawing the comparisons between Naruto are with its characters. Mostly Asta, who seems very similar to Naruto in the way, you know, he wants to be the best, he wants to beat his rival. The difference though is that Naruto is actually a likable character. Like, you know, we can sympathize with him. Like, he was bullied all of his life. He's a bit of a troublemaker. Like, he doesn't just have one personality trait. Like, imagine reading the first volume of Naruto and every single page Naruto's just like, I want to be Hokage, I want to be the best, let's go, let's beat Sasuke. I mean, if he kept constantly doing that, it would be annoying. We just know he wants to do these things. He doesn't have to keep repeating it over and over like Asta does. And that's all there really is to Asta's character so far. We really don't know anything else about him other than he wants to beat Yuno and he wants to become the Wizard King. And he also wants to save people or some shit. And he's annoying. Pissed me off. I don't like him. I feel like Yuno was a much better character and we've barely even seen him at all. Although honestly, he's more just like a chill version of Asta. He just really also wants to be the Wizard King. That's all anyone really wants in this series, is to be the friggin' Wizard King. So overall, this first volume was pretty meh. Like I said, nothing really bothered me too much about it. It was just, there was nothing really here to latch on to. I will say though that the artwork was pretty decent. Kind of reminds me of a mix between the art in Naruto and Fairy Tail, which isn't really a bad thing because both of those series have pretty good art. I do feel like though there is a lot of room for the artist to improve, and I feel like in the future, or maybe even now in the newer chapters, the art has the potential to be a lot better. So yeah, pretty underwhelming, but here's the thing. I only read the first volume. And there are a lot of volumes out now. I think there's like 10 or something out. And what I hear from a lot of people is that the story eventually does get better. It does seem to find its place, become its own thing. And I do see a lot of people enjoying this series, which to be honest is great. But personally though, I don't give a shit, okay? I'm not gonna read more Black Clover. Nothing about it interests me at all. There are so many other things I would rather be doing, so many other manga I would rather be collecting, but the only way I would ever read all of Black Clover is if it ends sometime in the near future. Which, judging by its popularity, it won't. So with that, Asta, I do wish you the best on your quest to become the Wizard King. I'm sure it will be filled with some crazy action and adventure, but for now you can fuck off out of my life. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys had to say about Black Clover, and I will see you guys in the next video.